Now we're going to talk about what I consider the most important concept about the closed guard position, and it all depends on my opponent, on what he is stable to. My decision making and whether I sit up or stay on my back and attack from there is all dependent on my opponent. Is he stable to the floor or is he stable to me? Is his weight on the floor or is his weight primarily on me? If he's in this closed guard position and there is no connection with our upper bodies at this point, right now you guys can see it, but I can definitely feel it, that there's no weight on me at all. So that would indicate that I can come up and start to look for attacks like the guillotine or the Kimura. Many times I think we make poor decisions in when it's time for me to attack. If Josh is leaning on me and his chest is almost on my chest here at this point, right now, just in closing my eyes, I can feel that his weight is on me, and now it doesn't really make sense for me to kind of sit up, especially if his arms are in the right place. Even from here, it could be tough for me to kind of go on the offensive in here. This is not the time for me to attack a submission or sit up. Meanwhile, even though he's over here and rooted to the floor, this is not necessarily the time for me to look for a sweep. He's very rooted and stable to the floor right now. If, let's say, I wanted to go for a sweep, he is already sensitive to the fact that I'm trying to sweep him. This may work against a novice or a person who's just starting out in jiu-jitsu. If they're already stable to the floor, it's going to be very difficult for me to disrupt their base. I can disrupt their base when they're over me, specifically when my hips are underneath their hips. Anytime he's leaning over and his hips are underneath my hips, this is my time to start to move them. Here, it's going to be very difficult for me to move and sweep them. From this position, if he's back, this is not the time to attack an arm lock. He can always pull back. He can utilize the floor to get force and pull his arm back in. If his arm is more leaning on me and he's resting his weight on me, now it's way easier for me to move him forward, where I can start to attack things like arm locks. Now, we're not going to get into the specifics of the submissions at this point. I'm just telling you what is guiding your decision making in when you attack a sweep and when you attack a submission. If there's space between him and he's rooted to the floor, always look to come up. This is your time to eat up that space and go on the offensive. I can look for the Upa sweep here. I can send him straight back. This isn't one of those sweeps where I'm taking him to the side. I'm actually knocking him straight back, because if you look at the way his body is positioned, there's nothing behind him. If I try to take him to the side, his arm is there, his leg can maybe spread out and give himself that stability to keep him balanced. This is one of those where I'm bucking him straight back. This is also the position where I can start to attack a Kimura. His arm is in open space. That's when I can attack it. I can sit up for the guillotine. I can sit up and maybe go to an open guard. That's one thing if there's no connection that's been established between him and I, but it's quite another if he's already established this kind of connection where he's got a frame between him and I. I see a lot of people grab the belt. And when you grab the belt, this is an extremely strong grip, but it's not a great controlling point for him. I can still sit up. There's nothing that's on the middle of my chest that's a frame where now I can't really sit up. This is doing nothing. If he is grabbing your belt, you can do one of two things. You can either open up his elbows, pull him forward. You can grab the two collars, hold it very tight, pull him forward, almost like you want to pull his head right to your head. Now, grab the collar. He has to make a decision, essentially, on whether he wants to put weight on his hand, right, by putting his weight on me, or putting his weight up and away, right? If he puts his weight on me, he does open himself up to maybe a sweep where now my hips are underneath his. If he goes back, it can be very difficult for me to get underneath him, but his grip is going to be a little bit weaker. So I can maybe break it, start dragging it across, and look for ways to take his back. Just because he has a frame between you and him doesn't mean that you're just going to attack an arm at any point. The time to attack an arm lock is when he's putting the weight on, right? Then you can kind of slide, or you can get your hips underneath where I can sweep. If his weight is back and he has a grip, it's going to be difficult for you to sit up. You have to start to clear the grip, slide it across, or put it to the side where now you can sit up.